Hey,
Hello,
hello again.
it's us again. Dang.
Welcome to another episode of the Socially Sound podcast with me, Kirsty.
And I'm Sarah. So, someone sent us anonymously I think it's a complaint, but it was something that they wanted us to give an opinion on as well. It's basically inaccessibility in healthcare. But they said, recently I've noticed that GPs and audiology departments, they don't have access. You go in, no access, there's barriers. Trying to contact them is a whole other problem as well. And yeah.
Yeah, also the person said that through COVID, this situation
Yes.
got worse, more
Yeah.
barriers were put in place, and it became harder to book appointments. And they're also asking if any other deaf people
Yeah.
experience the same.
Yeah.
So,
I think the person also said that before COVID you could walk in, but now that is not the case. And to be fair, this is a common experience that a lot of deaf people have, if not then all. So, and it's still an issue. It's been an issue, it is an issue, and I feel it will still continue to be an issue, even though we now have the BSL Acts. And the NHS, we are working to have more access within the NHS and healthcare in the long run. But I don't see that happening anytime soon.
yeah, I think it will take time. A lot of things that need big changes always take time. But obviously, people don't have time to wait, especially when it's a healthcare issue and facing barriers. Yeah.
It's been ages.
So, but I know we recently found out about the Accessible Information Standard, AIS for short, and that really outlines what are your rights, how can you complain, and what are the steps that you should have to access your healthcare. So that's a really good resource, and we'll put the link in the description box for you to check it out. It might help you with your next steps.
It was introduced in 2016. We didn't find out about it until this year.
Yes.
And people are still finding out about it. I'm an audiologist. I work in the NHS. I didn't know about it. I asked a colleague, do you know about it? They knew nothing. So it's really interesting that a few of us know about it, especially as deaf people, because it's our legal right to have our access needs met in appointments.
Yes.
But we didn't find out about it, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
And I think that's dangerous though. Like,
Yeah.
not knowing we have those rights, or being told about those rights, or not having access to healthcare in general is really dangerous. It can affect our mental health. It can affect our physical health. We could be told the wrong thing,
Yes.
or we could understand the wrong thing. So I think for the government to be very dismissive is really, wow, because we have lives too. So I don't know.
Yeah, we deserve equal access to our health, the same as our hearing peers.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Because hearing people, let's say they lose their hearing straight away, or they develop a cough, they can just easily call, I have this problem. But we don't have that.
exactly.
Emailing, we don't know if we're going to get a response. We can't walk in. Like, there's so many barriers. We can't have our issues solved quickly. So,
Yes.
So the inaccess, there's nothing we can say.
This is nothing new. It's been happening for years and years. So really your submission is like, we fully understand, but we don't have an answer. All we can do is discuss until change happens.
And didn't you say something about it depending on where you are regionally?
Yes. So the quality of services that you get in healthcare and your access levels can depend. So for example, some of my friends live in the north or the south, and the quality of their services depend on their GP, the healthcare provider's attitude and willingness to improve. Yeah, it depends.
My GP actually has the display screen TVs. So when you check in and sit down, your name will then come up with the room number. So you can just get up and go in yourself. No one is coming out and screaming a name anymore, which is accessible because you can see it. But blind people, deaf-blind people, I don't know if this works for these guys. So this is another thing to cover as well. Just because you have the screen doesn't mean everyone can access that. So it's, even though it's good, you need to consider other people who might not be able to read the screen. Maybe the colour's not good. So my GP is pretty decent, but I'm still mindful of other people who might not benefit from that.
Yeah, interestingly, it's the opposite for me. My GP doesn't have any of that. I just have to rely on waiting and looking out to lip read. So if I'm looking at the phone, I'll miss my appointment and it's gone.
Yeah. In the department where I work, there's a running joke, which is kind of sad. Whenever I come out to call my patient, I'm actually a quiet person, so I have to shout really loud. So I make sure people are watching me before I speak so that they can lip read. A lot of clients always say, oh, I was making sure I was watching so that I could catch my name, or I was on my phone but I put it away closer to my appointment time because I don't want to miss out, blah, blah, blah. And we're always, kicking about it, but at the same time, people shouldn't be anxious or worried about missing their name because they can't access their name, especially in audiology. You would think audiology is basically the top place for access, but
like the best place for deaf people to go to and access, but no.
Far from the tree.
Interesting.
Far from the tree. So yeah, but in summary, it's a problem that's not been solved yet.
Exactly. Perfect summary.
It's been a problem. It is a problem, and it will continue to be a problem. We all have the same experience. Some have good experiences, some have bad experiences, but it's pretty much a shared experience. It basically I said once in a lifetime as if it's not an ongoing thing. And when I say once in a lifetime, I mean it's an experience of inaccessibility, so...
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like this is all we can really discuss about this topic. If any of you watching have your own experience or you want to offer this person some advice or guidance or links or resources, just put them in the comments.
Yeah, any tips or recommendations, I will definitely be looking through the comments for myself, because I don't know my rights as a deaf person, to be honest. Because I speak and I wear implants, most of the time I just firm it and struggle my way through. But I know that's not the same for other people. They can't just get through like that. So the comments will be really encouraging and helpful. Yeah. So thank you for sending us this complaint. Yeah. And thank you for watching.
Make sure you subscribe.
Make sure you like.
Comment.
Make sure you share. Because if you don't,
look,
you already know what's up.
She's coming for you.
Right? Okay. Like this photo. Right.